A brand new era of ACSL is all ready and set to commence. Welcome everyone to Saturday Racing once again on this channel, and we are all set to get going with the Renault Clio Cup 1 year on from the very successful Season 2 that we had. We've got a newly modified car, so it's not completely the same as it was back in the day when we did this. And of course, we're at a new venue as well, the Combe circuit, so there is plenty to look forward to across the next 1 hour or so. We are very much into the 12 minutes of qualifying. You can see that our timer is ticking down and the drivers are navigating their way around this circuit. A pleasure to have your company wherever you might be watching from in the world, and we are all set for what should be a very exciting race, because that's exactly what we saw when we went racing with these similar cars, I guess. The main change, I guess, to emphasize is mainly based on the way the cars are under braking. So it's a bit more easier for the drivers, and it means that you have a bit less smoke, like you're seeing. You just have a bit of it, but reduced, is basically what has been done. So, as we have contact there, Sprite being spun around, not what you want to see when it comes to qualifying, but that's just the drivers being eager to get on with things. And it means it's an early reset to the pit lane there for Sprite, not happy at all. I don't think he'll be, and I don't think the other driver involved, we couldn't quite catch who it was, but I don't think they'll be too happy either, because, well, they all just want to get on with their qualifying, and you know, the drivers are going to be hurdles for each other across this qualifying session, because they're all trying to produce the best lap times, but they are all going to get in each other's way. You're taking a look right now at Ryan Cole at the moment, navigating his way out of the final corner, camp corner that is, and then coming over the line to begin a flying lap. So today's format, well, as I've already mentioned, we have got a 12-minute qualifying. A 12-minute qualifying that will set the grid for both. Yes, you've heard that right. Both races that we're going to have. It's not the same like we used to have it, where in the main season we had just one 30-minute race. No, you're going to get 10 minutes of extra racing, but that's because we're going to have two 20-minute races, and this qualifying will set the grid for both of them. So it's a very important one. Not the reverse grid format or any other format that you might usually see for when we have two races. So it does really mean that this qualifying is just so important, because it basically decides where you start, how much are you out of the chaos for an opening lap, and if you can be quick and if you can produce a good lap, you can find yourself in a great position when it comes towards the races. Because if you were a regular when we used to run this championship in the second season of ACSL, then you would know how chaotic and how much wheel-to-wheel action you can get like this. It's only qualifying, but because the drivers are pushing on, it does mean that they're getting in each other's way. That is Kasper Marciniak, who goes to the top. Now, I started off this broadcast by mentioning welcome to a new era. You might be asking, well, what is different? What is different? Well, it is basically a start of a new chapter here, because we have now got a whole new system when it comes to driver ratings, as well, their safety rating, etc. In the interviews and later on, I'm sure we'll get more details and we'll get the people behind it to explain more, but Sepe has worked on an absolutely extraordinary system for us, and it does mean that everything is going to be a little bit different. This is a fresh start for everyone, so if anyone has had issues across the last few rounds or however long they have competed in ACSL, it's a bit of a reset, and they have a chance to kind of redeem themselves a little bit as well, and start off at the same level as some of the greats when it comes to their ranking, heavily dependent on your overtaking skills, how much times you're not getting in contact. Of course, it can go down and up depending on it, but there's quite a few factors that they will be looking at. So basically, any good driving you're seeing today, you know, they're doing their rating good. And if it's the opposite, then you know what the answer to that will be. Right now we're looking at Austral making his way by. We have to say, a great lap by Kasper Marciniak. Looked very quick. Looked very quick when it came to the practice earlier on, and the laps that they have all been setting around this venue so far, and he looked a driver very much on fire across that. He's now translated that into a great opening for qualifying, and an opening for qualifying that he would have wanted, but the question will be, can anyone get on terms? Right now, the nearest driver is a tenth and 1 second and a tenth away. It's not usually something that I'd be used to saying, which is why I'm having such a struggle here in the commentary box saying those words. But it is Kitek who is in second position. Weebick has just promoted himself to third at 1 minute 6.9 at that moment. So he has improved up to the second row. 6 minutes to go, so that's half the time gone for the drivers. One of the drivers we saw competing in that Season 2 with the Renault Clio Cup cars was Dante Spapen. Found himself third in the championship, and a win as well to go with it. So he was a driver who we did get to see driving right at the top level and contending with some of the best that season, which of course included our champion Rye Vodka. And as we were talking about Dante Spapen, that's a good lap. That's a lap of improvement up to third position. It definitely does appear like anyone who is in third right now, your position is not quite safe. I think Kasper Marciniak, he's just well clear of everyone. I think, let's be honest with that. Right now, at the moment as it stands, he's well clear. Never say never. There is drivers who can produce shocks, but for now, he'll find himself with a decent bit of safety. And, you know, with when we look at the rest of the field, having a near 4/10, I'd say more just over 3/10 advantage, Kitek will also be a bit more relaxed. If you're Dante Spapen, not at all, because it is so close. It is so close for all of the drivers who are beneath that at the moment in time. Okay. So, just getting a few more lap times on the board then. The drivers, by the way, I'd also quickly like to give a bit of a shout out to all of the work that they've done with their liveries. George Given was showing me his earlier on, and quite a good livery, quite a decent one. There's quite a few good ones, I have to say. We're gonna definitely be trying to find them all. Here's one of them. You're gonna be seeing a lot of that, but just in different color schemes, by the way. What you're seeing in your picture as well. Of course, you've got the Bull logo right to the side, the Winter Edition text, and, of course, just different colours all around. So, 4 minutes to go. Are we going to see Weebick take a step forward? He's only a few hundredths away, slightly wide out of the final turn, and it means that when he comes over the line, there is nothing to celebrate about that time by. Still more and more drivers pushing on. Two drivers who aren't currently at the moment is Kasper Marciniak and Weebick. That is a great effort. That is a great effort. Improving up to the front row for Rawling. Rawling gets there, and he's missed out by 8.5 tenths. Yes, we really are still at such a big margin of improvement being required from different drivers, from all the drivers, bar one in the field, to get themselves on a 1 minute 5.414. Who's going to be able to deliver it though? Who's going to be able to find the time? We're currently looking at different drivers as they try and improve. While the improvements can come from, realistically, anywhere. Anywhere the improvements can come from. That is how competitive the ACSL Championship can be, especially in the mid-pack. And when it comes to races, you're always going to have different contenders. We had, when it comes to the race, I remember a very unique situation. In Season 2, in this Renault Clio Cup car, where you had Krishiki come in, I remember, and absolutely dominate the qualifying by ludicrous margins. We couldn't believe what we were seeing in the commentary box, and I'm sure everyone at home as well. And then when it comes to the race, he was having the battle of his life, and it was like he's really trying to hang on. There was a big struggle, and we had a great battle for the win, all the way from lights out till the end of that 30-minute race. It just shows you that race pace compared to qualifying pace can be different. And anyway, in the race, if, you know, let's say Rawling, as it stands, he's second. If he can get ahead of Marciniak with the standing start that we're going to have, who knows? Who knows? There are so many possibilities, and there are so many ways this race can completely turn on its head. But that is the race. We still have a minute and 30 seconds to go of qualifying to try and set the grid. For a reminder for you guys, both races. What I was trying to say just before that, Sepe has gone to P16, so Sepe goes to 16th. He did a round, I remember, off that Season 2 championship with us as well, so he did drive the car, but once again it is a slightly modified one, so everyone's had to get used to it. And I mean, most of all for the drivers who did drive this car back in Season 2, I guess they've got a little bit of a positive surprise and a positive ring to it as well, as Dantis Papen goes off the road, because it was quite a struggle to drive. That's a good improvement from George Given. George Given finding time on time, and now he's put himself only about a 10th away, just under that, away from Rawlings. So much improvement beginning to come. Christian, I mean, he's been mighty behind the comms box in the last few months. Mighty behind the wheel. Absolutely extraordinary stuff to P5. Vibik is in P7. Can he try change that as he cuts the beam? Answer appears to be no. Are we going to be getting any other drivers who are going to be changing the order? Sprite comes across the line, stays in the 9th position. Brandon Bartop, the driver who finished P7 in the Season 2 championship, goes to 11th position. The checkered flag is flying at the end of 12 minutes qualifying. Important laps coming in now. Very much important laps coming in, because a reminder to you, this is going to be setting the grid for both 20-minute races that we have coming your way in a few moments' time. Rawlings pushing on and pushing beyond the racetrack, going onto the grass momentarily. There was a moment, oh, and he's off, and he has to now rejoin, and will hope to do so without causing any issues. Just about, so Rawlings finds himself going off the road. Can George Given go a step further to try and improve to the front row? Pole position for any driver looks just outside of reach at the moment, but Given through the chicane, looking to try as Sprite goes up to 7th position. Does Given have anything else to produce? I think he's the, well, main driver that can change something, and that doesn't appear to be racing speed any longer. So that sentence is no longer correct. It doesn't appear like he'll be able to change anything. And we might have our grid set. Kasper Marciniak with a great effort. There he is. Absolutely flying stuff to secure himself what appears to be pole position for both races. Given comes into the pit lane. We've got Sepe going round as well. Unsure whether that is... whether he's still pushing. We don't have a checkered flag next to his name, so he might well be. He might just be. So it's Marciniak, Rawling, Given, Kitek, and Bejan currently the order. Sepe, well, goes into the pit lane, so nothing coming from him. P18, it will be on the grid for Sepe. And it is a trip back to the pit lane for the entire field. And it will be all eyes now to the racing. What an absolutely brilliant qualifying that was. One that was dominated in the end from a pole sitter in the name of Kasper Marciniak. But my word, was it wide open beneath that. Rawling able to get there. Given with a good lap as well. And then Kitek finding himself in 4th. Bejan in 5th. Spapen, Sprite, Vibik, Austral, and Brandon Bartop completing your top 10. Great to see Brandon as well in that top 10. Looking forward to seeing what he will be able to do when it comes to the racing. Can anyone dramatically change their position? Remember the new safety ratings that we've been talking about. This is when it comes into fruition. This is where it is all heavily dependent as I teleport myself to the pit lane, and in the process, make my way over to the grid. It will be a 20-minute contest. One of the things about this Castle Combe circuit is that the grid is very much all very tightly packed in together. It means that we can usually get some 3 wide, some 4 wide heading into the first turn. So keep your eye to see what will be happening as the lights go out. Nervy moment for everyone on the grid. It's the return of the Renault Clio Cup, but it is a new era that we are about to enter in ACSL. And ACSL is racing once again in the Renault Clio Cup car. Kasper Marciniak absolutely shoots the car off the line and has got a comfortable advantage as he goes down into the first turn. Rawling has got second position, but Kitek is going to try and take it away. No pressure for our leader. Absolutely rapid off the line in the same way that he had the pace over everyone when it came to 1 lap qualifying. Rawling is in second, then it's Kitek. Sprite has got the possession of P4, and then it's Rebic. George Given has lost a few positions off the line, so he is down to 6th. How do they handle the chicane? That's what they're heading through now, and a car off in the background there. Austral did not make it, and neither has Iconic, so Austral having to regain momentum and recover after a chaotic start. One of the drivers, I think that's Iconic, going through the roll-off, and it was a bad start as well for Christian Bejan, so he's found himself dropping down the order. So he went down the order and surely had a moment to forget Osprey. Osprey's had some trouble as well. He was much more higher up. Oh, and he's just been hit. He's just been hit there into the wall. So one moment into another, and it's a change of lead at the front of the field. Kasper Marciniak comes into the pit lane, so that explains why. We thought it was a dramatic moment on the circuit for Marciniak, but no, he's coming into the pit lane, and he is going to drive his way through back onto the circuit. I think he wants to do some overtaking nice and early in this race. As meanwhile, we get our first bit of wheel-to-wheel action after the opening tour of the race. Wheel-to-wheel, Brandon Bartop inching ahead there of Ryan Cole. So that is Ryan Cole losing a position. More battling going on further back. That is Didcut, who has got the company of Costa into the chicane. Both make their way through in one piece. Austral trying now to recover after the trouble that he had. Marciniak already getting on with the overtaking. What else would you expect from Marciniak? Already on the charge. So a race start which had a bolt, an absolute bolt from Marciniak. He was absolutely on it. It was a bolt from the pink there. And he absolutely left everyone for dust. The battling was for second place. Rawling and Kitek maintained position, and then it was overtaking absolutely everywhere and chaos absolutely everywhere behind. You've just watched Marciniak get his way past at the final corner, further up. Now into the new lap here for Given, going wheel to wheel with Rebic and getting super close for comfort. Given trying to dance the long way round. How is the traction looking for the British driver? Inching ahead into the chicane, more momentum carried, and the position of P4. But Rebic will be desperate to try and come back and fight back, as he's looking to get really close. He's looking to get tucked underneath that car. How brave is he feeling to the inside line? Given leaves the space, and he turns in and takes his racing line. Fantastic between these two drivers. On board we go with Rebic. Meanwhile, quite the battle going on. We join now. That is Sepe trying to get past Kurgan. And is he going to be able to get there? As there's so many position changes across the field. What else would you expect in ACSL? As we see Marciniak trying to get closer and closer to try and make some more moves. Let's go back and join some of the battling that is taking place. Oh my word, hanging on to it out of the final corner of Camp Corner, and that was Kovdaraz, who was absolutely fighting his way past. So he got past Kurgan at that moment. And yes, we are getting Kurgan's name right, everybody, this time by. I hope, at least. As, oh my word, off the road. That is not where you want to be. As meanwhile, Ferrone moves up. And Marciniak is the other driver moving up. He's got past Ryan Cole. 15 minutes and... wait for it, 30 seconds to go on the clock. But these are important races for the entire field. Can they get themselves in the high levels of ACSL competition? Because, you know, there will be events, there will be races that possibly are locked to those drivers who have shown great wheel-to-wheel combat skills, great car control, great racecraft. And if the drivers, you know, want to be in that, then they do need to perform at this high level. And that's the same thing with the old system we had momentarily with the license test, which of course now has been updated to an even better system. But, you know, there were going to be events that were going to be locked to drivers. So, you know, things like that. It is so important to, you know, have your rating high, so you can possibly compete in some of the, who knows, faster cars and stuff that might be coming and might be happening in the future. Because one of the things was, with the driving standards, the drivers, we couldn't really, you know, run. Like we had an F1 race in Australia, and that was really chaotic. And it meant that we couldn't really go to the faster side of things. But, you know, that's definitely an open possibility in the future as well. You want to have all options available on the table. And that is what the drivers are going to look to try and do. Try and impress after today. And impress right now in front of your eyes. Very nearly half race distance done, but remember, we've got this race and then we've got another one. Same distance, same grid, same standing start and same action. But we are witnessing Kasper Marciniak. We're keeping an eye on him because, you know, if there is anyone who's going to be dishing out some overtakes, of course it's going to be him. Because he's got so much pace. Oh, as I said, that he's gone off slightly wide, but continuing on. Cutting some grass on the exit there was Kasper Marciniak. But he's going to look to try and take himself further and further up the order. We're looking for some other battles further back. And even further back, all the way down to P16. Of course, we join right now Nilovic as he makes his way through the chicane. The chicanes which have been very much feared by the drivers. It's been very much the main talking point about how are they going to handle it. What if they do find themselves in a wheel-to-wheel combat battle? And look at the momentum on board with Nilovic looking to go all the way around the outside. That would be a move for a show reel if he can keep it on. It looks like he's inching ahead. He's got the power down and he's got the place. Past Kurgan he goes, and Kurgan drops down, and improving up is Nilovic. As Kasper Marciniak has found the next driver to try and lay the assault to when it comes to overtaking. He's alongside, and well, it's not even going to be a contest, isn't it? Riebeck backs out of it into the final corner, and Kasper Marciniak is making that corner his own. Another position gained. P5 now, after he came in through the pit lane to go attacking, and that's exactly what he is doing. By the way, it's not looking good for Osprey right now at the moment. He's had to come into the pit lane. So, he's been in there for about 3 laps now. He might be waiting it out. He might be done with this race, but he might be waiting it out for later on. Oh, that's close. That's very close, or it was close, between Kurgan as they make their way through. Timing board having a bit of a glitch. Ignore that. Ignore that. It's the equivalent of sometimes transponders in real life racing series. Don't worry, Kasper Marciniak, as great as he is and as much pace as he's got, don't worry, he's not just managed to overtake 4 cars in about 1 second all the way to the lead. But maybe if we extend that time period, there is that chance. Because he's already on the back of George Given, who in turn is trying to put some pressure on for the final spot on the podium. A very exciting battle going on. We're watching on board with Marciniak, who is possibly seeing a wide moment ahead for Sprite. And does Given get the opportunity? George Given flashing the headlight there. Look at how close it is getting now. P4, P5. Marciniak is absolutely trying to wrestle this Renault Clio Cup car past Given. Given, who was a huge part of the entertainment when it came to our race a few weeks ago in the Ford special race that we had for ACSL. And now he is looking to try and gain another position. How's the momentum looking like? It's looking good. It's looking like he wants to try and make another move. But we'll wait and see whether he'll be able to do that. So we're now getting to a point where you've got the field that is very much spreading apart, but not this battle. Not this battle. Thrilling stuff between Sprite and Given. Given on the outside. Sprite is going to look to try and hang on to it. And watch this from Kasper Marciniak, who's also going to be there. Third, fourth and fifth, not separated by anything as we make our way into the chicane. Given with not the ideal racing line, and it's going to give momentum, it's going to give speed to Kasper Marciniak, who has been a driver who needs no invitation. If you leave a gap open for him, he is going to take it. Is the gap here in a few meters time? Pulls to the outside. Given parking it brilliantly, but there's nothing you can do if Marciniak's going to dance the long way round. Brilliant stuff. Right before the chicane, Marciniak gets by and moves up to P4. One more place to go until he's on the podium. Can Given though try and impress us with a fight back? No, he can't. He has to settle in behind. As we make our way out of the final corner, that's a bit of lap traffic there. That is Kavdaraz, who they've just got past. A lap down now. Rawling is really pulling away with this. 7.7 seconds. That is to Kitech, who's the car that you can see directly ahead. But first of all, Marciniak has to try and make another position, and Given is still there for company. This is thrilling. They are keeping us entertained right now at the moment. It is a tenth and a half. Is this now the move for Marciniak? Looking to do a similar move that he did on Given, and he's just got so much speed on the outside to try and get by. Given goes off the road. Marciniak takes the place but runs in deep, and he goes onto the grass. I think he'll still have the possession of P3, and I think he has it for keeps unless Sprite can fight back. Given was off, but he continued and is still running closely to this battle. Rawling, Kitech, Marciniak, Sprite and Given, your top five. Vbic getting closer as well. Vbic trying to close in as we have 7 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock to go. But now let's go back over to Given, because he'll be desperate to try and make a move, and he's just found the gap. He's got a full car length alongside and possibly a full car length ahead, and he's got it. Given to P4. And now this is a battle that seems to be developing over third, fourth and fifth. Third possibly might be up out of reach for now, but if Marciniak and Kitech battle, who knows? They've just got to be careful to not invite Vbic into play, because Vbic is, as Given goes off again onto the grass, because Vbic is right there and he'll try to take any opportunity that he can get, so keep your eye on Vbic. 6 minutes and 30 seconds. The race rapidly going by, but as a reminder to you, we still have another 20-minute race, the exact same as this, coming your way very soon. As meanwhile, Marciniak is on to the back of Kitech. Not onto the back for long. He's already ahead, and he's taking second position. He made a pit stop in this, and he is fighting his way through up to second, and now can he try and close down a 10-second gap in 6 minutes? it would be extraordinary, it would be one of the greatest things we've ever seen, but it's ACSL. Don't rule anything out, it's in the balance until the end. Marciniak with quite a target ahead now. Traffic will not be helping. You have to think though, that 9.3 is a little bit too much, but I think it is a little bit too much. Ruling though, I think at this phase, unless there's a mistake from him, I think he's got it. But now this is the point where he'll feel the pressure. He knows the pace. He knows how quick Marciniak can be. And he'll know that now that there's no more cars in between in terms of actual position. So keep your eye on that. Rebic looking to try and get past. Givens pulled away. And now Sprite is finding himself trying to hang on in there. Rebic P5. Costa has had a moment somewhere on the circuit, by the way. Oh, he spun. He's lost it, so that's either been contact, but he didn't quite catch it. But he's rejoining the road now. We're going to have to cut back over to Sprite because he is hurrying Rebic through these corners. And you can tell that he's desperate to try and make an overtake. Which way is it going to be? Inside line, possibly. An opportunity is there. It's presented himself. It's presented itself for Sprite, and he's taken it. Absolutely taken it. And he has moved up past that into P5. We've been treated to some great duels so far, and this is one of them. This is absolutely one of them. 4 minutes to go. 1 minute 7.525 that time by for Marciniak. A personal best being set by George Given. So Given is on it. And he's trying. He hasn't given up the podium spot. He's desperate to get back on there again. 6/10 is the gap. This is absolutely fantastic with 4 minutes to go. We have battles developing left, right and centre. You're watching one right now. Rebic looking to try and be a hurdle now for Sprite into the chicane. Side by side. And it was never going to be the position completely gained there for Rebic. He's going to have to do a bit more work than that, but possibly doing the work, as Ditka has had a moment. George Given is improving to the podium position with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Given gets his way through and moves up to P3. Can Kitek try and respond? But Given, who we thought possibly could be losing out, oh, he's onto the grass. He's made a mistake. We thought he could be losing out and dropping down the order. In the battle of P4, P5, he's improving actually up to third, but now Kitek is going to look to try and respond out of the final corner. 3 minutes to go. It is all action here in the final stages of race number 1 of the day, and Given gets his way by. But let's go over as well and keep an eye on Sprite and Rebic, because they are also in a similar position. And Given, you know, isn't too far back of Kasper Marciniak, so he has to be careful. Marciniak not on the same pace. I think he's just relaxing now and getting ready for race 2. He's not on the same pace, isn't he, as he was when it came to qualifying and, you know, the push towards the field. I think he's now kind of consolidated himself as we make our way through. Ignore that gap that was momentarily on your screen. All is okay. There is still a 12.1 second gap. All is okay for rolling at the moment in time, but it definitely is not comfortable yet for Mr. Given, because Kitek is there. He knows there's a chance. We're in the 1 minute 7s. About 3/10 quicker on that lap was George Given. And Given is closing in. He's desperate for more. He's going to get a chance to close in because, well, you just had a bit of a battle that was happening between Marciniak and one of the lap cars there. And you have others taking advantage and looking to try and close in. 13 seconds is the gap between Ruling and Marciniak. The battle for second, third and fourth is still very much on. As we come out of the final corner and we make our way onto the final lap of the race. What a performance it has been from Rawling. He has pushed on hard. Of course, at the start of the race, we had the pit stop come in for Kasper Marciniak. And, you know, it was an open door. It was an open presentation to him to basically go through into the lead. And the question was, could he keep it? The answer was, yes! George Given is moving through another position, possibly. He's moving up to second as well. And it is all happening in the final stages. He's battling with Marciniak. Marciniak coming under pressure. Given is trying to take this place. Looks to the outside through the chicane. Very much tight stuff between the two of them. We've only got a couple of corners to go in this race. Given is going for it up against Marciniak. They run wheel to wheel. But meanwhile, what a brilliant performance it has been from Rawling, who will make his way up towards the line. And he is going to see the checkered flag first. Rawling takes victory in the first race of the day. He takes the checkered flag first. Kasper Marciniak is just hanging on to second. He was able to stave off the threat from George Given, who's got a chance into the final corner. Marciniak is wide. Given's got the inside. Drag race to the line for second. And Given gets there. George Given takes it away right at the line in a brilliant wheel-to-wheel fight until the final centimetre of the race. Rawling is the winner, but action all the way till the end. And George Given has got it. Marciniak was third. Kitek was fourth. It was Sprite, Riebeck, Bartop, Spapen, who had a battle near the end as well, Austral, and Cole, I should say, who completed the top 10. Absolutely incredible stuff. And we've still got one more race to go. That was thrilling. Absolutely what you love of ACSL. Taking place at that moment. Given and Marciniak not separated by anything over the line. I mean, we're not getting a gap, and I wonder why. Because the position literally changed as they came over the line. And that is what you call entertainment. And my word, we've got to do another race. We've got to do another one. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. These races can be enthralling from start to finish, and you get to the end of one and you're like, oh, we've got another one? My word. I think, you know, we might be in the off-season with a lot of the real-life motorsport series. I think we've had enough entertainment for this weekend, though. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Well done to the drivers on that race. And to, well, especially all of the top ones that we weren't able to see. Now, I have to say, there was a lot of other battles going on which we weren't able to catch. But well done to all the drivers who kept us entertained and gave us plenty to talk about across the 20 minutes. We got to a point in the race where, you know, every race has that lull period where you're thinking, okay, the gaps are now forming. That could be it. That we could be in that position until the checkered flag. But no, it is ACSL you're watching. As a reminder, it means that you can get switches in position into the final meter of the race, quite literally. You know, at some point you can say that commentators are exaggerating stuff, but you know, I'm not exaggerating that one bit. Literally, we're not, as I mentioned, we're not getting a gap between Given and Marciniak at all, because they literally switched position as they came over the line. Oh my word, fantastic. George Given getting involved in the celebrations in the live chat as well. Everyone happy as well for Ryan Colt, who's put together a good performance. And now it is time to go racing for the second time. Rawling is very happy that he was able to take the flag first and win. I do have to feel bad for him. We were going to give him camera time on the last lap, and then Given and Marciniak are like, nope, absolutely not. We had to switch in between all of them on the last lap to make sure Rawling got his moment, and Given and Marciniak, we got to see the majority of that fight. It is always the best issue to have, though. It's always the best issue to have. There's just too much to show at once. You have so much to keep an eye on, and we always try to do the best job that we can. All set to do it again. Okay, well, Given is going to be very much pumped up after that. Himself, I think Bejan as well. I think they'll... Because they dropped so many positions, I think, on the opening lap. We don't, of course, know everything that happened for them on that opening lap. But we did see that they lost positions. So, with that being said, they'll know what happened previously. And with 2 race starts, it gives you the opportunity to try and better your second one. But at the same time, everyone else has had the opportunity, that opportunity as well. So, you just never know which favour it is going to go in. But... we don't need to know. We're going to find out right in front of us. 5, 6 red lights. And we leave the line and we're underway with a brilliant reaction time once again for Kasper Marciniak, but not as good as the first race. It is Rawling who's trying to go to the outside line and pull alongside. Given has already lost out and he's lost positions off that start. Dantis Papen is trying to fight his way through. Marciniak keeps the lead. Rawling is trying to put on some pressure. Our race 1 winner is on the attack as he tries to and get past, but he can't do so. And it's Marciniak who is ahead. Contact at the back there. And dropping down the order is Bartop, who has had a moment that time by. Through the chicane we go. It was also a poor start and surely some form of an issue for Nilovic, who did not go much up the order and found himself dropping down, in fact, off the line. So did he have some form of contact, I wonder? But at the front of the field, the advantage belongs to Marciniak. Battling further back. Did cut us out a moment. Osprey again is round. So something's gone dramatically wrong for him. There is a lot going on, isn't it? There's a lot going on in this race. Given is back to the, well, recovery phase now. I mean, I think Given, you know, could be a good contender for the win if he didn't have that bad start. But it's happened twice, and that's why I brought it up. That would he actually be able to nail the start second time by? It'll actually, if he is on the podium, it will be actually interesting to get to speak to him and ask about the race start, because I mean he's been brilliant other than that race start. Qualifying, really impressive. Race, I mean I don't even have a word to describe how good he was. But Kasper Marciniak wants to win, and has got a 1.2 second gap as he tries to do exactly that. Meanwhile, though, the rest of the field are left battling amongst themselves. Dantis Papen roared his way up. Absolutely shooted his way up the order. And gained a couple of positions. Good start from him. And now he's going to try and hang on to this third position. Kitek is, well, looking to try and get up there. In towards the final corner. That's slightly wide for Kitek. Could it give the chance to Sprite? And we're going to go wheel to wheel over the line, and it looks like the positions are going to exchange, and it will be in the favour. And also, look at that, Given is also fighting his way by as well. So a couple of movements in position coming in, contact, and into the wall, hard for Kitek, and it's a trip into the wall. And a driver who was running highly will not be able to stay there, and instead will have a recovery race ahead of him. He drops down to 13th, possibly 14th in a few meters, and he has to get on with it and push on. And that's not the moment that he would have wanted to see. Let's go back over to this battle that is very much on for P3, P4, and P5. As they make their way through. And Given is once again very much in this battle for the podium. Poor start, he completely ignores it, he just gets on with it after that. Really, really impressive stuff as they make their way by. And over the line we go. Still very close between Given and Sprite. Given trying to get there as he found a gap, he's going on the grass. That is how much bravery he has. As I mentioned, race 1, the ending of it. The adrenaline will still be running, and then you're straight into another one. You've basically had, what, 2 minutes 2 minutes to try and calm yourself down to some degree after that. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. 0.2 of a second is the gap at the moment between Given and Sprite. Kitech has found his way past Osprey, that is for P13 and P14 at the moment. Let us know your thoughts in the live chat on what we have seen so far, whether it's opinions on race 1 or even the start of this race with very nearly 5 minutes in. On board we go. Well, we have the car ahead in our picture, we've got the car behind in our picture. They're getting closer and closer. And waiting for the opportunity, but not being able to get there. George Given in the background. Well, we saw it. He ran into the back of us to some degree when we were on board with Sprite. And, well, I mean, luckily, it is not as dramatic as a moment as we initially thought it could have been. It very much looked like he was going to plough into the back and possibly go massively off the road and into the wall, and that could have been the end. But no, he's only lost a couple of tenths, which he can easily regain, especially if Sprite and Spapen go to combat. Sprite is definitely taking this one easy, isn't he? He knows he's got time. He's biding time at the moment. Talking about biding time, that is not the description of Kasper Marciniak, personal best. And he, well, you know, tried to win it from the pit lane, but because of how good Rawling was, how he was able to just pull away so much, he was just like able to control the race. And Marciniak basically very nearly got past all of them. Of course, didn't end up getting past Given and, of course, our winner Rawling by the end. But, you know, he made race 1 a bit fun for him, but he knows that he can't afford to do the same. He absolutely knows he can't do the same again, because there's no guarantee that he'll end up on the top step. And I'm sure he wants to win a race with the amount of pace he's got, because he's got so much pace. He's got so much pace that he'll at least want to leave today with a trophy of the top step. So he's definitely gone to work, and you can tell with Rawling as well, he's already got an advantage over this battle. There's every bit of a chance that he could have just done the same thing and just, you know, just drove away and controlled the race. Which is why we mentioned to you, at the start of the broadcast how we can easily see everything change from qualifying to the race. It is completely different. You can be good over 1 lap pace, you can be decently good in the race as well, but you may have other people for company. Talking about having someone for company, that's exactly what Sprite has. He's got Given to the side, and that's very nearly contact, and that will be off the road in a big way for Sprite. And when he rejoins, well, Given's going to be passed and through. So he overcooked it there, did Sprite, having to go off the road. And Given takes advantage. And George Given moves up to P4, and now he'll be the one to attack Dante Spapen. Spapen has had good control over this 3rd position for a bit of time now. But can we see Given try to change that? What about Sprite? What about Christian Bejan, who is also there to try and make his move? And there to try and capitalise. Much more better race for Kurgan this time. That is Gabriel Kurgan, the driver in 10th position, making his way through. So he's done well as well, and it can be a hard thing when you've had a disappointing race 1 to bounce back for race 2. So it's a completely different element to, let's say, what we had in the endurance race last time out, in the Ford race that we did as well, that we broadcasted. A complete different element as to what they're dealing with. We are having to do 1 race, stop, reset, go again, all in the space of realistically a couple of minutes. But George Given is now going to try and take this podium spot away from Dante Spapen, making his way through, running closely, dangerously close to the back. And that's been the case so far. Spapen has really been under pressure. But he's done well to control things. Let's look further back though, because we're not really given everyone else a bit of screen time. Because of how close it has been in that battle. But yes, everyone has seemed to settle in single file now. As well. But can George make this overtake? Can he give himself another thing to celebrate about? Spapen still will have to look in the mirrors. Given you can see he's trying to place the car on the outside to carry some more momentum through the corner, and he's flashing the headlight. Flashing the headlight at his rival. His intentions are absolutely clear. Through the chicane. Great stuff. Oh, he's gone onto the grass though. Not the best position to be in. They make their way through. Spapen tipping a tyre into the grass momentarily on the way in, on the way out. Given also follows suit as well. In these races you can very much be, if you're a chasing driver, you can just follow your rival's lines sometimes. But, you know, sometimes on the other hand you want to go different and take the better line. And end up gaining. Half race distance complete for race number 2. George Given in a position where he's got one car that is ahead. Sprite is in behind and he's flashing the headlight, you can see in the background through the mirror. So great battle that is developing there as well, as they make their way through them. Let us know your predictions on who is going to possibly take the checkered flag first. By the end of it, it appears to be Marciniak, but as we've said, twists can happen in ACSL. I mean, you know, if you want to predict maybe something that's more competitive at this phase, the battle for third. Because even though, yes, it's very close and it appears like Given and Spy have good pace, Spapen is hanging on absolutely brilliantly. He's doing a great job. Doing a great job indeed. As they make their way through. And is this finally the moment for George Given to make the move? He's found a gap. And Given looking to try and make another position onto a podium spot today. He's got to the inside line. Spapen will be desperate to hang on, but I don't think there will be anything he can do at this moment. Can he try and fight back? That'll be the question now. Given gets past and into third position. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And now look how close together they are. Oh my word, that was close. As Spapen had to take to the grass momentarily, had to dip some tyres in there. And now it is door-to-door stuff. British touring car stuff into the braking zone. And Given spins. Contact. He gets tagged by Sprite. And they both continue on without too much problem, but they've lost time. And here comes Christian Bejan trying to make the move as well. But the chicane came up. And with the chicane, it meant he had to back out of it. And there wasn't enough room for him to go on by. And Austral is going to be the one who's going to try and dish out the overtake. And instead of gaining a place for Bejan, it's going to be losing one. Austral to P6. What a dramatic moment there. Dante Spapen has been kind of given a gift. They were all over him earlier on, and now he's got a bit of a buffer of 2.1 seconds that they have to try and close in. We'll see, we'll hopefully hear from the drivers later and see what happened in that incident. But luckily it is not a proper race end-up. They're still in those positions. They still have a chance to, you know, change things, and they can still work with these positions. But they, of course, you know, will be disappointed about losing the time to Spapen, and a bit about the contract as well. I wonder what the thoughts are right now from the drivers in terms of the contact that they have just had. As meanwhile, Vibig gets past. It did lead though to a couple of corners of brinkmanship, I think it is fair to say. You had awkward parts of the racetrack for Bejan, who would have been able to surely make a move had it been a slightly different case. As a driver who ran very highly earlier, Kitek, behind Kurgan. And Bartop is there as well. Brandon Bartop is there. Osprey has got past Sepe. As Cole has got past Bejan as well, who is stopping. And he's stopping. He's on the grass momentarily. It appears like he's trying to come into the pit lane. And the race falling apart for Bejan, which is what I was just mentioning. He was at a very bad position on the circuit in order to try. He tried to capitalise, but he couldn't. He couldn't quite capitalise. As meanwhile, quite the battle going on here, as Kitek looks to try and attack the two ahead now of Kurgan and Brandon Bartop. Bartop looking left and right as he tries to dance the long way round. Can he carry the momentum? No. Can he try and get the cutback? Better traction off the corner. It's getting close between them. Right now, looks to the outside. There, Kitek on Bartop. Bartop on Kurgan. All of this battling has got a gap between Cole and Kurgan of 4.4 seconds. As Kitek now looks to try and make an overtake on Bartop. So Bartop as well, losing out possibly into the final corner. They'll be close to the grass in a few meters. There we go. And it is Bartop who stays ahead. Kitek can't quite get by. And Kurgan is like, yes guys, more of this. More battling. Let me go further up the road and try and consolidate my position and, you know, hopefully gain as well further. That'll be the aim. As I think we had a bit of traffic just getting out of the way there for us. Which of course the drivers have been warned. They have been warned when it comes to blue flags. And is that a moment? Running highly. No more. Sprite spins. He's had some form of an issue. And now he'll rejoin the road in P7. Very lucky that there's a gargantuan gap in behind. That stretches to 24 seconds. But Sprite with a moment, which will see Austral P5, Vbic P6. And it's not what you want. With only 4 minutes to go. Very much game on in this race, everybody. George Given, if you thought he was going to give up on that podium, well, provisionally, he's going to try and get back there again. Of course, we'll wait and see what the drivers have to say regarding the incident that happened, whether anything will be done, who's at fault, all of that. We'll need more angles, we'll need a lot of other stuff to make a judgment of that. It all happened very quickly. But for now, Given will try and get himself on another podium. That'll be his aim. That'll be his goal. Out of Camp Corner we go, and down towards Folly, turn 1. Avonright about to come up as they rise up. Hence the corner name. And Given into the back. And giving a nudge. Giving a bit of a nudge. And that will mean that Spapen will get his left elbow out. Get his right elbow out into the chicane. Given trying to brave it. Won't be able to get there. And Spapen will be hanging on to the place. A trip through the grass for Given. As he really puts the pressure. As he really tries to utilise everything and anything that he's got underneath him. Meanwhile, our race leader has got a 10.2 second advantage. Marciniak has got on with things. And he is very much in control as we enter the final 2 minutes of racing. And Given, well, could he provide us with another late overtake? The yellow flags are out, and Osprey is the reason why. A trip off, and he'll try to get his foot back to the floor, but Nilovic is going to go through, and Kurgan has lost a couple of positions there, as we make our way through, and that is Kitek ahead of Bartop. Kitek is ahead of Bartop, so that battle has been going on as well. They make their way through. Absolutely fantastic and thrilling stuff. Given, by the way, has lost time. The gap is 9/10 of a second now. So he's going to need some corners, and some great corners. It's going to be very much nip and tuck here in terms of whether Marciniak gets over the line for another lap. It's going to be really, really close. Depends on how quickly he can navigate around this circuit. And a bit of late contact at the end. Kurgan goes round. Didka involved as well. And that is a shame. That is a shame for those two drivers. They've got a bit of a buffer in behind. But yes, a huge shame indeed. As they will make their way by. Given is very much in the hunt now. Given is back in it. He may have dropped time. He's gained it back. And he wants to be a factor. He wants to try and gain another position. Riebeck has got past Austral. Austral is fighting away with him. It's all happening near the end of the race. Out of the final corner, we're going to get one more lap, I think. Yes, one more lap of racing. Given is going to be happy about that. So will Bartop. So will anyone else who can try and make a move. Didkut's trying to gain a place. Nilovic is trying to gain a place as well. One more lap. This is the final lap that we go on to now. Everything and anything can happen. It's going to be a thriller once again. Marciniak got over the line with about a second to spare to give us this final lap of competition. To bring this Renault Clio Cup car race to a close. What brilliant 2 races and a qualifying we have put on for you. And now Given is on it again. Last lap, Given is going for it once more. We had a nickname for last lap Lando. We'll give it to Given at this point. Because look at this. This is absolutely extraordinary stuff. Talking about extraordinary. Marciniak has driven absolutely perfectly here in race number 2. He came charging back in race 1 after he made the pit stop. In race 2, it has been a lights out to checkered flag domination. Kasper Marciniak comes across the line and pushing lap cars through, but taking the checkered flag first and winning. Rawling will find himself in second position, but who is going to take P3 into the final corner? Given trying to do it again. He's not going to do it again, is he? Round the outside, and is he going to win? He's done it once more. Given's won another drag race to the line, and this time it's for P3. He beats Standis Papen provisionally to that third position. My word. We'll wait and see whether there's going to be any steward results or anything anywhere else in the field, but that's your provisional result from race 1 and race 2. My word. What a finish once again. Danced the car the long way round and took P3. Surely George Given's most satisfying round after... I don't believe it. He's done it twice now. Twice. That is outrageous. Let's run into the rest of the order. Austral P5, Sprite, Riebeck, Cole, Kitek, Bartop, Kurgan, who had some late issues. Same applies to Didka. They're 11th and 12th. Osprey 13th. He had a spin momentarily earlier on as well. Then Karlovic, and then Sepe, Ferrone, Costa, Iconic, Kovdaraz, and Alex. And our retirement was Bejan, P21. All nice and peaceful out on the circuit. Anyone doing donuts? don't think anyone's got the energy for that after 2 races. I don't think anyone's got the energy to do donuts. Can we find anyone who is doing donuts? We always usually have donuts. Here's Costa. Has he positioned himself a donut? Never mind. Got me excited there. I mean, at this point, it's ACSL tradition that we'd have some form of donuts after the race. No one's doing it. I can hear someone going. Someone's listening. Someone's trying to do it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Fantastic. Onboard stuff with Cole. Delivering us donuts. As he makes his way through. Yes, fantastic. I can't remember getting to an end of an ACSL race and not having donuts at the end. I feel like we always had something. Whether it's drivers just crashing into each other because they've done it, And they no longer need that car to be pointing in a straight line. Fantastic. And he's done the donuts for us. Great! And now we take you up to the camera screen. And I need to get myself out of Assetto Corsa. There we go. Right! How was that, everybody? How was that? Another race done. Well, it's interview time now. So I've got to load up Discord. Once again, unfortunately, I don't have the capabilities of doing the briefing. I'm saying briefing. What is it even? The Discord stage, isn't it? Yes, Discord stage, everybody. I'm getting it very much confused. Last lap, George. I mean, yeah, I thought exactly that because it's how. I mean, not even last lap. Last corner. Last corner. Or even like final centimeter. We need something better. I wouldn't even say. I wouldn't even say last lap. It's last corner. Last meter. Right. I've gone into the wrong league server. That's absolutely extraordinary. I've got a ping in. Oh, lovely. Mute the music, so you guys don't have to hear that. Actually, let me check whether... Can you guys even hear... One sec, let me just make sure it's... Okay, that should be better. We need Mr. Spapen to come. We need Dante Spapen to come. To assist me in this. Because I don't think... More options? I don't have any options to... I can request to speak, but I can't get myself... I can't speak. Oh, I might have rejected it accidentally. I might need another... Oh, there we go. No, we still got it. Still got it. Okay. Right. Into the box. Into the box. And... Who have we got?
I did it! I won a race in ACSL. Oh my god.
As we have got a driver, I'm just going to adjust my settings so it all sounds nice and good. Okay, I think we've got Tommy here first. Hello, Tommy. How was that then?
Well, it's kind of funny that the two youngest people in the server got first and second, but another thing, I was...
Okay. We won't be able to hear the end of that. We don't know where that one was going. Won't get to hear the ending of it.
Misclick, misclick.
He's back.
Misclick. But yeah, when I saw Casper get that star, I was like, what the hell? And how did he get like 5/10 up on me in the first turn, and then I saw he got a drive through. So I pooped my pants twice during the race. Like, let me show you the first one that happened. Here, wait, can y'all see it? Can y'all see the screen?
Well, yes, I can see the screen at the moment.
Alright. So I'm headed into this corner, right? I'm in P1, and I see these two buffoons in front of me. It's P and another buffoon. And then I'm entering the corner, and this is all I see. This is what I see while leading, and I just get... It's just chaotic. And then almost get killed by Seppi again. And then in the second race, I got brake checked right here while running P2. This guy right here. Boom! Brake checks me. But other than that, I tried my best. I don't know how I won. Props to George Gibbon for the commentary about trying to pass Dante and on the last corner, because that's all I could hear. And he just kept screaming, I'm shaking. But yeah, other than that.
Great.
Other than that, Dante put a lot of pressure on me because he DM'd me before the race saying, this race depends on your sim racing career. I'm like, okay, really, dude? That much pressure? Alright. But other than that, give it to George. He deserves it more than me. He locked in a lot. Oh yeah, Casper's here. Let Casper up. Because Casper's a sweat, bro.
Great. We're getting all the insider info. Anything else for us? Oh, never mind. No, never mind. We don't want to expose all the secrets, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, just let Casper up. But This season, Scan Racing, I'm predicting a champion right here. Not me, but like Combe. Yeah.
Okay, great. There we go. That was Tommy, everybody. Am I getting George Given next? Mr. Given? Do we have him?
It's Goon. It's Good Given, not George. It's Goon Given.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Given.
Hello.
How are we then? How was that for you?
I am very happy. As you can see, I'm still shaking. I've let you know a few times, but
Yeah.
also very surprised that I finished there. I did not expect to even start in P3 during qualifying. I saw I was P7, and then on the second to last lap of qualifying, I managed to secure P3. I went for another lap because I know that I was listening in on the stream and I knew that it wasn't that a lot of people were losing P3, and so I just had to go for another lap, but then I invalidated. So yeah. But I'm just very surprised I finished P3. I went back to pit lane thinking I was going to be like P4, but I started P3 and then all unraveled from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to touch on the race start because we noticed you dropped backwards on both opening laps. So could you explain what was going on there? Was it just not being able to get the start right, or was it just being cautious because you know there's going to be a lot of chaos?
To be honest, I didn't expect to be that slow on the start. I was trying to go as fast as I could. I knew there was going to be chaos, but I didn't expect there to be chaos at the front. However, there was, because on the first race, it was coming up to the first corner, and I was in the middle of three wide, and both cars turned in on me, gave me front end damage. Both of them went off track. I think I dropped a position from that as well. Just very unexpected. Somehow managed to keep it going without going off track as well. That was very unexpected for me.
Well, great job when it came to that. And then, well, I guess specifically zooming into both the last laps and specifically last corners, that was absolutely outrageous. Two overtakes on the last lap. Yeah, talk us through it, because I mean I couldn't believe it. But how did he manage to pull it off? Not once, but twice in both races.
Well, for the first race, I knew that Casper was going quite slow. I think Tommy told me that his tyres were overheating, but I definitely was faster throughout the race. Probably most likely because of his tyres overheating. So I know I'm not as fast as him. Like if he had normal car, he'd be faster than me. But
Wait. George, can I say something? Yeah, no, Casper's tires weren't overheating. He just turned off his grip packs for like a little bit, just to, troll with Given,
yeah. Where was I? Yeah. Coming up to the final corner, I genuinely thought I was going to overtake him, but I didn't expect. I'm pretty sure it was on the outside, like the last race, but I didn't expect to go on the outside. I went on the outside because something was wrong with his tires or something, or he turned off his grip packs. I managed to overtake him because he was slower, but didn't expect that. And then on the second race, I don't understand how I overtook Dante. I mean, it could, I don't know. I guess on the outside you carry more speed because, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
Well, those are the most satisfying ones, the ones you can't explain. There was a bit of contact, and a bit of major contact momentarily, but luckily it didn't cost you like the most amount of time, and you were able to recover back to third position. So could you explain the contact that there was in race 2 about halfway in?
To be honest, I was scared because it was obviously one person in front, one person behind trying to attack me. He did end up attacking me. I struggle on that corner as well. I keep going wide, as I think you did see on the stream.
Yeah.
But he went for the dive bomb. I was also trying to attack Dante. I was trying to go for the inside, but obviously he was going for the inside of me. I think I shut the door on him, but I don't know if he was fully alongside. It was. We'll have to see in the reports, but I turned in on him kind of, and I nearly spun out. He got the worst of it, I think. I definitely a Code Brown moment. I managed to keep it going. I don't think I lost too much time, but I'm not sure what happened to the other driver.
Yeah. Okay. Well done on today. And final question: is this one of your best days in ACSL? Do you think?
I think so. I've never really got this position with this amount of drivers. I'm pretty sure there was around 28 drivers on the grid. I know in OAC, the other league that's kind of part of this league, I have finished a few podium positions, but that was with around 7 drivers, not 28. So it's definitely a good race. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, George Given. Enjoy the celebrations of the podium as well, and we hope to speak to you more often.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay. Well, I believe I nearly had Tommy nearly say one more thing, but well, okay. I think all is okay now. We move on to Kasper Marciniak. Next up, who is joining us. Hello, Kasper. First of all, absolutely extraordinary pace out there. How much practice did you do, if any, or was it just pure skill?
Way too much. I just enjoyed the combo, so I did I lost count by this point, but I think it was around 300 laps maybe. So yeah, not even 200. It was 300, I think. So yeah, and yes. So my goal for the first race was primarily to have fun. I might have jump started, but
There we go.
but yeah. Yep. Should I talk about the race, or do you have any questions?
Well, first of all, that explains that stuff, because I was going to ask about how you managed to get so much forward in race number 1. But yeah, in terms of the race, yeah, talk us through it.
Okay, so as I said, I started a bit too early and had to visit the pits, just meet my crew members and stuff. So I came out at like P10, I think, maybe P11, and it was pretty smooth sailing from there. I was gaining position like every 1 or 2 laps, and managed to get to P2. And it was quite smooth from there as well. Maybe a bit of trouble with the back markers, but it unraveled a bit when I went into the chicane. And yeah, I think the wall turned in on me, and my wheel was suddenly like 50-60 degrees to the left. So that was quite difficult, and my car suddenly became like 2-3 seconds slower. And yeah, George managed to catch me in the last lap. I couldn't do anything because of how slow the car was, and yeah, I finished in P3, and I think he got P2 by like a tenth in the last corner. Yeah, that's about it for the first one. And I don't know, should I talk about the second one yet, or?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So the second was I have probably less things to say about that, because I started P1, managed to get P1 by the first corner. It was basically firm from there, and yeah, I think I scraped the wall like in the second lap of in the first chicane, and I had some damage, so it's like 5-10 slower at least every lap. But I was still quick enough, so that's cool, and I finished P1.
Well, I mean, yeah, race 2 was definitely a bit more simpler, but absolutely brilliant pace displayed by you across the first and second race as well. In terms of coming into the round, did you expect any form of drivers that you had your eye on as possible threats?
Just Tommy, I think he was the only threat, but I was faster. This race was just a disaster, so yeah, but in terms of pace, yeah, I didn't really expect anyone to be quicker as soon as I got back into the practice and stuff. So yeah,
Okay.
that's it
Yeah.
pretty much.
Lovely to speak to you. Well done on your absolutely extraordinary pace to dominate qualifying in that way, and also race 2, and then producing us with plenty of overtaking in race 1 as well. So congratulations, and we look forward to seeing what you get up with when it comes to the next few races.
Yeah, thank you. That was. I mean, I enjoyed the first race, to be honest. Even though I finished I didn't finish where I wanted to, but it was enjoyable because I got to overtake some people, and I think I got 2 overtakes on the outside. And I wanted to touch up on the outside aspect because I think these cars make it a bit easier because of the unders. It's not even understeer. The cars just rotating on the throttle. When you exit a corner, it's just easy to rotate the car on the exit itself. So going on the outside, I could pretty much slam the throttle and get enough rotation to make it, and got the overspeed as well. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, and enjoy the celebrations.
Yep. Thank you.
So,
See you, I guess.
yep, see you indeed. That was Casper, who we were just speaking to, the driver who was absolutely brilliant when it came to his pace levels as well. So, it is time now to hopefully speak to our next driver. Who will be upcoming.
Hello.
And, well, you can hear from him already. Ryan Cole, you were able to get inside the top 10 in both races. First of all, well done. I'm also being informed that you have your parents watching, your family is watching as well, and I'm sure
Yes,
all the other
indeed.
fans you have as well who are tuning in. So I guess you've got a bit of pressure on for this interview. Lots of people watching.
Yes, I really do.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I think good results for both races. How was it from your perspective?
To be honest, it was really good. I haven't really been able to get up many positions in previous races, but in this race I actually did good.
Yeah, and that's fantastic to see as well. Any major battles? Any major fights you got yourself involved in with any specific drivers in that race?
Not really. Maybe a bit with Christian, but that's all.
Yeah, he was a driver definitely who was within the mix. So when it comes to the practice, how much were you able to do of that, if any? And what was the preparation for this event like?
I had a bit of practice. The thing is, I didn't have enough time to practice because my brother was on the PC before I got on, so I only had this morning and a bit before the race.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well done then, because I think that's really a great job considering the practice or the slightly lack of practice that you had as well. When it comes to your ambitions then moving up and forward in ACSL, what's the plan looking like? Is it to possibly do something like Given was able to do across this round and hopefully aim for podiums and maybe even win soon?
Yes, definitely. I'm hoping to get more up.
Yeah, well, we look forward to watching. And finally, what's the words then for your family and everyone who is watching you and supporting you on today?
Thank you for supporting me.
Nice and simple. Well done, Ryan, and we are excited to possibly see you getting towards that podiums and wins in the future.
Thank you.
A great job today by Ryan Cole, and that's the driver who you've just heard from as well. Who are we going to now then? It's an interesting question. And do we have anyone? It depends if Dante gives us anyone.
Hello.
Oh, we've got the man himself. There we go. Hello, Dante. Great job, especially when it came to race 2. So, how was it from your perspective then, that entire round as a whole?
I don't know why, but I was really slow today. 2 days ago, I was 8 tenths faster, and today I really struggled with the car and everything. But that doesn't really matter for me because, George, I had a good race with him. It's strangely enough, it was uncharacteristic from him to be so clean and fast. So I really like seeing his progression as well as Tommy winning I think the whole event actually, if you take the average points, because he was P2 and P1, P2. So that's also very good for him. Yeah, for me, I was just very bad. Front wheel drive cars never really suit me, but I mean, it's not an excuse. Everyone is the same in the same car. But yeah.
Lovely, lovely. And some words also being sent to Given as well. Fantastic. So, well, we've had a new system that's come in terms of ratings as well. We momentarily mentioned it, but of course I was going to wait so you can mention it yourself and talk about the new era that ACSL is pretty much going into now. Apologies, because I know we're talking about your race, but as you are the owner, we're going to certainly kind of drift off into a bit of a different conversation now, just slightly. Could you explain then what is changing, what's now happening when it comes to these ratings that are happening in ACSL?
So we made a script that takes the race results and it automatically gives safety rating and skill rating changes. So we are testing that for a couple races the next coming 2 months, and then we can put it up online. We can limit certain events to certain safety ratings, and then we can have better, cleaner racing where we need it.
Yeah, brilliantly explained. Ryan Cole is asking, do you think that he's getting better? I guess he wants some opinions on him.
This race was better than his average race. It's gonna take some more to take up that average, but he did good this race.
Yeah, he did good indeed. So in terms of then that finish between yourself and Given on that final lap, going back now to the race 2, how was that then? Or around the outside, of course, for Given, were you expecting that move to come in right at the end?
Yeah, it was, but I didn't think it would be that effective. Again, very good race by George. I would have expected him to crash into me about 10 times, but he didn't, so that's very good from him. So I don't actually mind losing the position to someone who can race pretty fair, so that's pretty okay for me.
Yeah, and it was fair racing between you all. So well done on today then, and a great job all the way through.
Yes.
Do we have anyone else now is the question that wants to try and speak to us as well? We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see for about a few moments. Everyone's going quite crazy. George Gibbons saying thank you to Dante as well for a great race, and we do indeed have a driver. Austral is up here into the booth as well. Welcome. How was that then out there on the circuit for you?
Chaos, as always, especially with Castle Combe's more narrow confines, but overall, race 1, okay, race 2 was better, at least for me.
Well, that's great to hear. And in terms of then the preparation, how much of it was there for you? We kind of asked that question earlier and also in the last event as well when we did the Ford race. But yeah, how much practice were you able to put in for this event?
Not that much, really. 2-3 hours plus a little bit of setup, which mostly involved tire pressure, lowering the car, raising the rear wing. That's it. So overall, not as much as I did, for example, in Hockenheim last season, where I drove 200 laps, but still enough to, at least for second race, secure top 5 for now.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of fighting out there on the circuit, how was all the battling for you? Of course, this car can usually lead to quite a bit of racing out on the circuit. How much of it were you involved in, do you think?
Not much, really, because the thing is that I tend to be both a cautious driver, especially during lap 1 of all laps, because I tend to profit more from staying out of battling, staying out of fights, and gaining positions when others make mistakes, and usually that goes well. So not much to report on my end. However, last few laps with Weebix before he was forced to save fuel was pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely was. There were quite a few good battles involving plenty of other drivers, then, well, did you match your expectation coming into today? Did you have a set expectation or a position you wanted to specifically be in, and did you match it, better it?
Top 10's always fine by me because I'm not fast enough to be top 5 usually, but not slow enough to be out top 10. It just really depends on lap 1 luck because, as you have noticed, is this your first time in the ACSL?
No, I've done quite a few. I was here last year actually, but no, I've witnessed quite a bit, especially when it comes to Renault Clio Cup as well.
Yeah, fun car, fun track. Just unfortunately that, some accidents make a wreckfest, but it's all about survival in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. So, then moving up and moving forward, what would your expectations be then for the upcoming races that we will be having? Will you be participating in them, and what can we expect to see from yourself?
Yeah, let me check the calendar. Oh, we have Fuji.
Yes.
So I've been tuned out of that, but I'll take a look. I'll see what's up, and if I do join, it's just try and stay out of trouble as much as I can, because the less trouble you're in, the more positions you gain, especially in mid pack. Also, did you happen to see Kitek race 2 where he crashed into the tire barrier turn 1 and he just flew across the track? Did you, Matt?
I saw a car flying in race 1, I remember. Or actually was it race? I can't precisely remember in my head. I did see a car flying. So possibly I may have. Or if not, then I might need to catch up on it. But yeah, we did get a bit of car flying, as you would expect in a chaotic ACSL race.
And let me forward it to you. Broadcast room. Broadcast room chat. Look at that.
Oh, here we go. You're gonna get live commentary, wheel to wheel. He was going with Given, and yeah, we did, we did catch that. Oh my word, that was quite a wild moment. Out there on the circuit as well. I'm being asked by Tommy, do I like his cat? Yes, yes, and a cat would be very helpful for me for reasons I won't specifically go into right now as well. But maybe if you go on my Instagram, you might be able to see. Anyway, Austral, thank you very much for coming and speaking with us. Good job today,
Cheers.
And best of luck in the upcoming races.
Thank you, and have fun seeing us, bumper cars.
Yes,
Yeah.
Indeed. That was Austral. Then, are we done? Or is there anyone else who wants to talk? We usually get plenty of conversations, and that's exactly what we've done. We are done. We are done, indeed. Okay, well, that is absolutely fantastic. Now, if I go over to this screen that you can all see, it is your calendar when it comes to February. So, we've had a license test. No more license tests, of course, but we've had the Renault Clio Cup today. We'll go to Alton Park next time out, as you can see. Then we'll have Fuji, which we will be racing for 3 hours, and it will all be broadcast. It will be back for the next 2 weeks, so hopefully everyone is looking forward to that. Well, that brings an end to the broadcast here from Castle Combe, and it has been an absolutely extraordinary event, qualifying along with race 1 and race 2. We'll be back in a week's time for more competition and for more racing and more ACSL action. But today we've had races that have run into the final centimetres, so it has been quite exciting to watch all of the side-by-side to the line and all of the battles that we have been treated to. Well done to all of the drivers, and well done to everyone on a great effort. Thank you to you, the viewer, for joining us and watching, and we look forward to having your company once again in a week's time in ACSL. We'll see you there. Goodbye.